Welcome back to the channel. In the video today, I will give you some advices and the questions that will help you if you are applying for a job as a junior SAP Functional Consultant. So a junior consultant for finance or logistics, including sales and distribution, material management, production planning, and so on. The video will not go into the general advices such as being well dressed and well presentable and so on, but I will talk about the SAP related advices. Before going into any job interview, I like to think about the objective of the interview from the point of view of the interviewer. Now, I'm applying for a job as a junior SAP consultant, which means I don't have a lot of technical knowledge. So most of the questions will be based on the meaning of the job that I will do, that I understand what is an SAP consultant, the basic technical aspects of SAP, and the basics of business processes. And of course, communication skills, because communication skills are included in everything. So before you go, you need to read the job description carefully and understand every point in it. What is being an SAP consultant? You have to understand the business process of the customer. You have to implement it in the system, deliver training, do testing of the system, and do documentation in all the project phases. And documentation is a very hectic and a very time-consuming activity. So normally the interviewer needs to confirm that the applicant understands that he will have to do different activities and he cannot say no to any of them. As an SAP consultant, we have to do all of these as a team. So we have to do documentation, training, implementation, and so on. So this is a very important point. Also, as I explained before, you will be interviewed in English because many customers are either English speakers or we are looking for English speaking customers in international organizations, for example. So the interview will definitely be in English. You need to be ready with your introduction. You need to be ready with your vocabulary. So the words that you will use to explain the meaning of ERP, the different business processes, and so on. So be ready to speak about yourself and about the system and about the business in English with confidence. And if you ever find something that you don't know, if you are being asked a question you don't know the answer to, you have to say that I don't know the answer. So you can either say I am not sure about the answer, but I think it can be this, or you can say I don't know the answer, but I know I can find it if I look in SAP blogs or in SAP community networks, for example. So have your answer ready in case you are asked a question you cannot answer. Now I will give you some basic interview questions that are being asked to anyone who applies for an SAP Junior Functional Consultant job. So if you are applying as a financial consultant, logistics, any functional module, you will be asked these same questions. Of course, there are some questions that are related to every area, but I'm not going to discuss this today. Today is all about the general interview questions that are asked to everyone. So number one is, what is the meaning of ERP? You need to know that ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning, and you don't have to know the definition by heart, but you need to know the keywords that you must include when you explain the meaning of ERP. So the keywords, from my opinion, are different modules or different areas or different business departments, different business processes, and integration and reporting. So for example, you can say something like an ERP is a system that handles the different business processes in the different departments of the company while integrating all of them and giving us the ability to do reports on the level of a business process, of a department, or the overview of the company. So this is a complete definition. And you need to understand the meaning of every one of these. So what is the meaning of integration? It means that when we do an action in one business process, it will generate other actions in different areas automatically. So this is the meaning of integration. And normally you will be asked about an example of this. So give me an example about the integration. And this here we can either mention the order to cash or procure to pay processes. I have already made videos explaining both of them in details. So there is a video called Overview of Order to Cash and another Overview of Procure to Pay. You need to know these videos by heart. So you will either be asked about an example of a business process that has integration, and then you can mention one of them, or you will be asked about one of them specifically. So tell me about the flow of the order to cash process. And when you are asked this question, you need to mention the different steps. So we have to create a purchase order, do goods receipt, do invoicing, and so on. And in every step, you mention the integration points. This is very important, even if you're not asked. So give me an example of the order to cash process. Explain the different steps, and in every step say, here we have integration. This shows that you understand that you are not working alone, and that the system is an integrated thing and all the team will be working together. And if you are applying as a financial consultant, you need to know the financial entries by heart. You will definitely be asked about them. What is the financial entry of goods receipt? What is the financial entry of goods issue, and so on. If you are applying as a logistics consultant, I don't expect you to know the financial entries, but I expect you to know when the integration with material management will happen. So for example, when we do a goods receipt, our inventory levels will increase. When we do a goods issue, our inventory levels will decrease, and so on. You may also be asked about the meaning of SAP and why you want to work as an SAP consultant. So I am not going to say you need to know that SAP means system application and programming. I don't think this is important at all. But you need to know that SAP is a German company that started a very long time ago. They started with an ERP system, and along the years they have improved this ERP system with the different implementations they did for different big companies. And nowadays SAP is being used in many international organizations, and they have a very good best practice included in the system. So whenever they go to a company, they can propose the best practices that can be used for their industry. And working as an SAP consultant will help me understand the most important business processes and the best practices of the business, and also will give me a promising career in working in good organizations. These are the basic questions I know from experience are asked in the most SAP junior consultant interviews. There are some advanced questions that not everyone can answer, but of course they will add a good mark to your score. So for example, what is the meaning between SAP ECC and SAP S4HANA? And here you don't have to mention a very technical difference, or you don't even have to know the meaning of ECC, for example. But you need to know that SAP ECC is the old version of SAP ERP, and in 2015 SAP introduced SAP S4HANA, which has been a breakthrough in the field of ERP. It is a very good ERP system, and now customers are either using SAP ECC and moving to SAP S4HANA, or are using SAP S4HANA directly. I have also did another video explaining the difference between ECC and S4HANA in a little bit more details. I recommend you also watch it before you go to your interview. This is it for the video for today. I cannot think of any other questions that are asked for anyone who is applying for a functional consultant job. If I can think of any others, I will include them either in the comments or I will make another video. If you have any questions of your own that you either asked someone in an interview or someone asked you in an interview, then please leave me a comment and let's discuss if these questions are important or not and how to best answer them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.